You start to feel these old feelings that you thought left with your past. But if you're not working on it, how do you expect it to just go away? We don't know if this person's gonna cheat on us in a year from now. We don't know anything. And that's why we have to just trust in our decisions, the decisions that we make right now, today, that we are making the right one. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie Jane. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for being here. So today I'm going to be talking about navigating insecurities in a long-term relationship. If you don't already know, my partner and I have been together for 5 years now. We actually recently went on a trip and celebrated that. I documented that trip and made a little movie out of it. So if you want to check that out, that's on my channel. But you would think, wow, like 5 years, you must be doing something right. And I'm trying my best. And I think that's what matters at the end of the day. But there are still a lot of things that I need to work on as an individual in this relationship. One of those things is my insecurities. And you would think that in a long-term relationship, you would feel really secure within your relationship. And that idea in itself, I do feel really secure in my relationship. But there are demons and just inner battles that I have gone throughout my relationship because of my past. I think the first way to navigate your insecurities is to understand where they originated from. I have spoken about this before, but in my last relationship, my partner was not completely loyal to me, and that was a really traumatizing experience when I found out. I knew that, if you go through your partner's phone, it shows that you don't have trust in the relationship. And so when I had an inkling that my partner wasn't loyal to me, I had those thoughts of, oh, should I go through their phone? And I'd talk to my girlfriends about it. My one friend in particular, she was in a very stable relationship, so I really valued her opinion. And she said, I think you should just ask him if you can go through his phone and just, express how you feel. So I took her advice. I went to my partner at the time and I asked him if I could go through his phone. And I should have known that from his reaction that there was something wrong there. But I was too trusting of a person. I was too naive. I was too nice. He didn't react in the most ideal way, basically. It really made me question if I should be with this person, but I didn't listen to my gut. This person was very apologetic and they just had a way with their words, so I ended up going back to him. And then after that instance, I just kind of learned, don't look at his phone, don't ask him about his phone. I respected that unwillingly. I don't even know if those two words can fit in the same sentence, but that's how I approached that situation. But anyways, later on, my insecurities, my thoughts were just eating away at me. This relationship was not healthy. It was very on and off. And eventually I just felt really, really low. And I decided I would try to log into his Instagram. I did, and I found some messages that were not pleasant to read, and I broke down. That day in my room, when I found out, the shock that hit me, that thought of, I'm not good enough for this person. I tried so hard to be with this person, and then to have them go behind my back and treat me that way. When that relationship ended, I really wanted to focus on myself. I just wanted to heal from all that pain. I wanted to heal from all the bad habits that I picked up from it. The way that I got connected with KT, we were friends at first, but we quickly fell in love with each other. And it's not that I wasn't ready for a relationship with my current partner, but it's that I didn't have as much time alone as he did. So he had a huge break from his last relationship and from our current one. During that time, he made the conscious effort every single day to sit with himself in silence and to understand what mistakes him and his prior partner made and the things that he didn't want to repeat in our relationship. And there's no way that I can summarize everything that he learned, but there was so much more that he was able to heal from within that time alone. All of those mistakes, where he went wrong and where she went wrong. And for me, I did not have nearly as much time. And the day that KT asked to take the next step in our relationship, I was so ready for it. I didn't see the scars that I had from my prior relationship, and I didn't see that until later in my current relationship with KT, when instances would show up. You start asking those questions like, oh, who's texting you? Like, you start to feel like these old feelings that you thought left with your past, but if you're not working on it, how do you expect it to just go away? And that was my issue. There would be these instances where, my insecurities would get the best of me and I would question my partner even though he had done nothing wrong. It's like instead of saying innocent till proven guilty, I held him as guilty until proven innocent. And so it wasn't fair to him. Like earlier in our relationship, I was really bad at communicating. If I did feel some type of way, I would keep it to myself and he would sense that something was wrong. That would just make things worse. I think the first thing you have to do is communicate with your partner. Communicate with them about how you feel about your past. Tell them everything so that they can understand exactly where you're coming from. Because if your partner is completely fine and they don't feel any insecurities in your relationship, they're going to be completely blindsided by you just accusing them out of nowhere. You need to help them understand what your mind is going through. At the end of the day, if you're with this person, it's because you genuinely believe in a future with them. Why would you stay with someone who would do you wrong? When you feel triggered by something, try to come back to a place of rational thought. This is a really typical example, but say your partner is at work and then he has a female coworker that he's talking to and he starts to tell you about her and you're like, oh my God, what if they get so close and then they start to hook up behind my back and then everything will fall apart? Take a step back. Pause. For a heterosexual relationship anyway, the female gender within your age range should not be a threat to you. That type of insecurity is just very crippling. I've experienced it myself and it's something that I've had to heal through. And it's not fair to constantly accuse your partner or have these suspicions or these narratives. There's something you really have to make peace with when you enter a committed relationship with someone. If this person turns their back on me, I know within my mind, my heart, my spirit that I did everything in my power to make this work. And as long as you have that firm belief and you are doing everything that you can to be the best that you can be, in spite of your insecurities, in spite of your uglies and your lows, then if that person still chooses to turn their back on you, what more can you do? That person was not meant for you. That person did not value you enough. They did not respect you enough. That person wasn't meant for you. Why would you want to be with that person anyway if they do that to you? After the fact, it would just be a matter of healing and moving on with your life. And that's the way that life works. We don't know what's going to happen in our future. We don't know if we're going to die tomorrow. We don't know if this person's going to cheat on us in a year from now. We don't know anything. And that's why we have to just trust in our decisions, the decisions that we make right now, today, that we are making the right one. The way that you get closer to the truth is by sitting with yourself, spending that time alone in reflection, not seeking answers on Google. I remember there were many times when I would feel so frustrated with myself for feeling insecure or starting a fight out of my insecurities. And I would just Google how do I stop being insecure? When really the answers are all in here. You just need to spend some time alone with yourself. There is no better place to acquire information than to actually sit in silence and just listen to your thoughts and rationalize things and break things down. That has been a huge thing for me, communicating with my partner and communicating with myself. To this day, I still feel insecurities. There was a time when I was constantly working on myself and I felt really free and liberated of these negative emotions, these negative thoughts. I just thought, okay, I'm good. I'm cured. I'm a confident, secure person. I will never feel insecure ever again in my life. And lo and behold, once you let go of your routines, your practices, your mindfulness, those negative habits will eventually resurface. It's almost like if you were to work out consistently for a year and then you're like, okay, I'm good. I did my time. I exercised for a year. I'm great. I'm healthy. I can give myself a break for a few months. It doesn't work like that. Your body will bounce back. There was something I heard recently and it goes, the moment you stop learning, you start unlearning. So the moment that you stop working on yourself is the moment that you stop improving. And it doesn't have to be a 30-minute meditation that you take out of every single day. It could simply just be a single thought I'm at peace with where I am right now. I am at peace with the person that I'm with right now. I am at peace with my state of mind right now. Just reminding yourself that you love yourself, you're doing everything that you can to be the best version of you. That goes a long way once you do it every single day. It's like choosing to take a walk instead of sitting on a couch. Those thoughts that you choose to think every single day will accumulate over time, and they will eventually heal you and bring you back to a place of reassurance and calm. The last thing I do want to say is, if you ever do feel insecure, don't feel ashamed. It is a normal emotion. It is a regular emotion. It is irregular to constantly feel it and to exert it in a way that is negative onto your partner or yourself. So understanding that insecurity is a negative emotion, do not add to that negative emotion by feeling ashamed for feeling insecure. Feeling shame is obviously a negative emotion. It will only add fuel to that fire. Instead, use that energy in a more positive way, whether it's by journaling or meditating or going for a walk. But definitely don't feel ashamed. It's normal and it will happen. I know I'm gonna feel insecure at more points in my life, but there are so many things that I can do to either make those less frequent or to shorten the duration of which I'm feeling those lows. But yeah, I feel like I could talk about this for a very long time because it is something that I have been working on for a while now. I just wanted to share this for anyone that thinks that just because you're in a long-term relationship doesn't mean you feel insecure anymore. Those things do show up in the same way that you don't always love your body every single day. There may be a day when you feel like, I'm noticing a bit of weight gain or whatever it is. I personally don't know if it's possible to love yourself 100% of the time, but I want to get as close to that as I can. If I just think I just need to be 1% better today, and then tomorrow and the next day, those percentages will accumulate, and all of that will ultimately lead me to a better, more secure person. I just hope that if you're struggling with insecurities, that you know that there is a way to work on them, and there's a way to work on them while you're in a relationship. Just because you're insecure doesn't mean you shouldn't be in a relationship. Of course, if that's how you truly feel, then definitely take that time in solitude. But I'm a living, breathing example of being able to work on yourself while being in a relationship, which is something that I didn't believe at one point. If this video resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me a lot more than you know. Or comment down below if there is something that stuck out to you or something that you can share with me in terms of how you kind of snap yourself out of your insecurities when you're feeling a bit low. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.